In this video, I want to show you what the 9001 standard is and how you can go about getting it for yourself if you don't have it yet. So this is what the standard looks like. It's 41 pages long. I have the electronic version. I purchased this from the ASQ website, asq.org. I can show you real quick. Over here, you can go to asq.org and just type in, I think I typed in 9001. You could pick standards, and really anything relevant to 9001 is going to be listed down here. This is the soft cover paper version. This is the version that I have back here. So make sure you're getting the right standard. The other thing that you can do if you kind of get just in the shuffle of where to find things is just a reminder back on our website under 9001 resources page. It'll bring you here. This is a description of what the 9001 standard is about. There are a bunch of blogs here, some training offerings, consulting stuff, tools, and then down at the bottom is a key links and articles section. So under the key links here, you could see, if I click that, it should take me to the same page, which it does. So that's how you get the standard if you don't have it already. Hopefully you already have a copy. If you don't, it is $175 list price, but it's also for an ASQ member. So if you're going to order a few of these standards, be it, the same document or multiple documents for your standards library guide documents, those sorts of things, the ASQ membership actually can pay for itself rather quickly. So consider that as well. But this is where you can get your standard. So let me close that and come back over here to the actual standard itself. The standard, as I mentioned, is 41 pages long. And one of the key aspects and elements of the standard that I like is the table of contents. So I use this frequently to just reference where certain requirements are. The other thing that I'll switch kind of back and forth to is in your student manual. Let me bring this page over here. So this is the slide deck to this particular class. One of the things that I use all the time, in fact, I have it right here in front of me, is this quick reference guide. It's a little hard to see because I've got the background blur thing going there, but it's basically this document here. It shows the layout. Let me see, in your material, let's see here. Okay, so this is the slide that I was showing you. I use as a quick reference guide. So similar to that, and sometimes you might be, let's say, out in a production area and you don't have a copy of this available. It is handy to use the table of contents. The other thing that you will see that is very useful in having the electronic document is if you hit Control F for the find feature. Let's try that again. Control F and say scope, any keyword. The feature with the PDF reader will allow you to highlight each of those keywords that you've put in here under the find function. So shall see that the word shall comes up 137 times, but for the sake of the way that I count this, one of the things that I do, for example, let's say you have this requirement here. The organization shall meet the requirements, yada, yada. So I count that as one requirement, because if you were to be audited and get a nonconformity, you could be given a nonconformity against that one shall statement. The other way I count for requirements that have a subset is I look at this as, here's the shall, and A would be one requirement, B is another requirement, C is another requirement. So that's the way that I count. So the PDF reader is only going to show, in this case, one instance of the word shall, but there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 requirements under this one shall. So I count that 5 times. There's no right way or wrong way, but when you see things throughout the class, such as the count of the number of shalls, that's how I came up with that count. Okay, so now let's go back up to the top. Show you a couple of other things in terms of the overall layout of the standard. So in the beginning of the standard, you have some prefix sections, you have the table of contents, you have the foreword, the introduction, which is general introduction. What is this document about? You can see here, shall, should, may, can. I've distilled most of this and put it in the slides. Here's your management principles. This is what talk about what the process approach is. This is the elements of a single process, and then this is a diagram for the QMS using the PDCA cycle. There also is some instruction here on what does Plan, Do, Check, Act mean, risk-based thinking, relationships that the 9001 standard has with other standards such as 9000, which is Quality Management System Fundamentals and Vocabulary, and then 9004, which is managing for the sustained success of the organization. So really more so think about this as a terms and definitions companion document, and 9004 is a guidance document on how to have an effective and sustainable QMS. There are also links here. So for example, here's a link to Annex B. This is more informative. It shows additional standards that TC 176, which is the technical committee for quality management and quality management system standards. This is just an informative section at the end of the standard talking about other standards that they create that are within the scope of their expertise. So that's B. Let me go back to the top again. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Really start to get into framing and setting the stage for the requirements in clause 1. This defines the scope. So in this particular case, this international standard specifies the requirements for a quality management system. Normative reference, this is really a pretty slim section just pointing to the 9000 document that you can go find further information on in terms of fundamentals and vocabulary. And then this is probably the weakest area of the standard. It's a clause number 3, and what you see there is nothing more than just a reference to go basically buy this other document, which to me is a little bit frustrating because you've already spent 130, 75 bucks, whatever it is. Now you have to go buy another companion document, and the cost can really add up over time, especially if you're getting the 9001, 9000, and 9004 bundle. I think it's somewhere just under $500 US. So, but anyway, that is really the overall introduction to the standard without jumping into clause 4 through 10. So I'll put that in a separate video. Hope this was helpful, and see you in the other videos.